Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to speak to you about something that is so valuable, so precious, and that is time. We all have the same amount of hours in a day, and yet how we use those hours can determine the course of our lives. Today I want to remind you, don't waste another's years of your life. Time is one of the most valuable resources we possess. Unlike money or possessions, time cannot be bought, saved, or reclaimed once it's gone. Every moment is fleeting, a gift that we can never retrieve. It's the one thing that is equally distributed to all, regardless of status, wealth, or background. However, how we choose to spend our time is what defines us. We often take it for granted, believing that we have an endless supply. But the truth is, time is finite. It's essential to understand its value, to make the most of it, and ensure we don't waste it on things that don't truly matter. Time is a precious currency that keeps ticking away, never pausing or slowing down for anyone. Each day that passes is a day we will never get back. The older we get, the more aware we become of this reality. It becomes clearer that every second counts. Yet many of us spend time mindlessly scrolling through social media, overthinking things that are out of our control, or staying in unhealthy environments and relationships that drain our energy. In doing so, we squander our most valuable asset. The value of time is amplified when we think about its relationship to our dreams, goals, and purpose. If we truly understand the limited nature of time, we would prioritize the things that help us grow, learn, and achieve. Often we allow distractions and trivial pursuits to consume us, leaving little room for the things that bring us true fulfillment. Imagine if we dedicated even half of the time we waste to pursuing our passions, investing in our relationships, or improving ourselves. What a different life we would have. This doesn't mean that we should constantly be working or striving. Rest and relaxation are essential too. But there is a distinct difference between rest that recharges us and mindless distractions that take us away from our purpose. Time is not just about activity, it's about intentionality. It's about making choices that align with who we are and where we want to go in life. Moreover, how we use our time directly impacts the people around us. Time spent with loved ones, nurturing relationships, and investing in others creates lasting memories and bonds. We should ask ourselves whether we're giving our time to the people who matter most or whether we're getting lost in the busyness of life, neglecting the ones who truly need us. The relationships we nurture today shape our futures. The time we invest in others is never wasted. It pays dividends in joy, love, and support when we need it most. Time is also deeply connected to personal growth. Every moment offers an opportunity to learn something new, improve upon a skill, or better understand ourselves and the world around us. The time we spend in reflection, in quiet moments of thought or prayer, allows us to recalibrate and make wiser decisions. These moments, while seemingly small, accumulate over time and lead to significant transformation. Time is a teacher, a guide that shapes our character, and when we respect it, we gain a deeper understanding of who we are and what we're meant to accomplish. However, when we fail to recognize the value of time, we often allow it to slip away unnoticed. We tell ourselves we will get to our goals later or that we have plenty of time to fix our mistakes. But time waits for no one. It marches on with or without us. The harsh reality is that life doesn't pause, and the moments we fail to seize can never be recovered. Time doesn't care about our excuses, and once it's gone for good. Therefore, valuing time means making conscious decisions about how we spend it. It means being mindful of the way we invest our days, whether it's in our careers, our relationships, or our personal growth. Time is not to be wasted on fleeting pleasures or on things that don't contribute to the bigger picture. It should be spent on what aligns with our deepest values, what brings us fulfillment, and what helps us grow into the person we are meant to be. Healthy relationships are fundamental to living a fulfilling and purposeful life. They provide support, joy, and a sense of belonging, shaping our emotional well-being and contributing to our personal growth. Whether they are friendships, family connections, or romantic partnerships, the quality of our relationships greatly influences our happiness and success. Healthy relationships, however, don't just happen by chance. They require effort, mutual respect, and shared values. Recognizing the importance of these bonds and actively working to nurture them is key to a well-balanced and content life. One of the core elements of healthy relationships is trust. Trust is the foundation upon which any strong connection is built. Without it, the relationship is fragile and vulnerable to misunderstandings, insecurity, and conflict. Trust isn't simply about believing that someone will be honest or keep promises. It's about creating an environment where both individuals feel safe, valued, and understood. Trust allows people to be their authentic selves without the fear of judgment or betrayal. In healthy relationships, trust is earned over time through consistency, honesty, and transparency. When trust is present, there is a sense of security and confidence that strengthens the bond and allows both parties to grow. Another vital aspect of healthy relationships is communication. Effective communication is essential for understanding and resolving conflicts, sharing feelings, and expressing needs. It involves both speaking honestly and listening with empathy. In healthy relationships, both individuals feel heard and respected. There's an openness to discussing concerns, joys, fears, and dreams without the fear of being dismissed or misunderstood. Communication goes beyond words. It includes body language, tone, and active listening. When both people are willing to listen and express themselves, they can navigate challenges together and find common ground. A relationship thrives when communication is not just frequent but also meaningful. Respect is a cornerstone of every healthy relationship. Each person in the relationship must feel valued and appreciated for who they are, regardless of their differences. Healthy relationships celebrate individuality and recognize that each person brings their own experiences, perspectives, and strengths. This respect allows for personal growth, as both people feel empowered to be themselves and pursue their goals without fear of criticism or ridicule. In contrast, relationships without respect can lead to resentment, feelings of inadequacy, and emotional distress. Respect means acknowledging each other's boundaries, choices, and needs, and ensuring that both people feel equal and important in the relationship. Boundaries also play a crucial role in maintaining healthy relationships. Boundaries are the invisible lines that define where one person's needs and rights end and another's begin. They ensure that both people are able to maintain their sense of self and autonomy within the relationship. Healthy relationships allow for personal space and independence, recognizing that while connection is important, so is the ability to have time alone, pursue personal interests, and set limits. When boundaries are respected, both individuals feel empowered and are less likely to feel overwhelmed, manipulated, or drained. Without clear boundaries, relationships can become codependent, leaving one person to feel smothered or the other to feel neglected. Additionally, healthy relationships are built on mutual support. A relationship should be a source of encouragement, helping each individual become the best version of themselves. In healthy relationships, both parties lift each other up during difficult times and celebrate each other's successes. This mutual support fosters a sense of teamwork and partnership where both individuals are committed to each other's well-being. It's about being there for one another, not just in moments of joy, but also in moments of struggle. This shared commitment to each other's growth strengthens the bond and creates a deeper sense of connection. Finally, healthy relationships involve empathy and understanding. It's about seeing the world from the other person's perspective and responding with kindness and compassion. In healthy relationships, both individuals seek to understand each other's feelings, even if they don't always agree. This empathy allows for conflict resolution that respects both parties' emotions and viewpoints. Instead of reacting impulsively, there is space for thoughtful consideration, which leads to solutions that are fair and satisfying for both people involved. Empathy also nurtures emotional intimacy as both individuals feel seen, heard, and cared for in ways that deepen their connection. Respecting boundaries is one of the most crucial aspects of maintaining healthy relationships, whether in personal or professional settings. Boundaries define the space between individuals, helping to protect emotional, physical, and mental well-being. They create a sense of safety and allow individuals to feel valued and understood. Without clear boundaries, relationships can become chaotic, unhealthy, and imbalanced, leading to resentment, misunderstandings, and emotional distress. Understanding and respecting boundaries is essential for fostering trust, communication, and mutual respect. Boundaries are not just about saying no to things we don't want. They are about defining what we need in order to feel comfortable, respected, and secure. These boundaries can be physical, emotional, or psychological, and can vary from one individual to another. For example, a physical boundary could involve the amount of personal space someone needs, while an emotional boundary could relate to the way one person prefers to be spoken to during a disagreement. Psychological boundaries may involve the level of mental energy someone is willing to invest in a situation or relationship. Each of these boundaries is essential to maintaining a healthy balance, ensuring that no one is overwhelmed, taken advantage of, or pushed beyond their limits. The first step in respecting boundaries is understanding that everyone has different needs and limitations. What feels comfortable for one person may not feel comfortable for another. It's important to acknowledge and appreciate these differences without judgment. When we respect someone else's boundaries, we show that we value their individuality and that we are willing to prioritize their well-being just as much as our own. Boundaries should never be violated or dismissed as insignificant. Whether they are spoken or unspoken, they deserve acknowledgement and respect. Respecting boundaries also requires clear communication. It is important to express your own boundaries in a way that is assertive but not aggressive. This can be challenging for many people, especially if they fear rejection or conflict. However, when we communicate our boundaries clearly, we give others the opportunity to understand our needs and make decisions accordingly. Conversely, when someone sets a boundary with us, it's important to listen actively and make a conscious effort to respect their request, even if it's not something we personally understand or agree with. Mutual respect for each other's boundaries fosters an environment where both parties feel safe and valued. In addition to clear communication, respecting boundaries involves recognizing when to step back and give someone space. For example, if a friend or partner asks for time alone to process their thoughts or emotions, it's important to honor that request without pressuring them or making them feel guilty. Boundaries often require a level of patience and understanding, especially in times of stress or conflict. If someone needs emotional distance, it's not a rejection of the relationship, it's simply a need for personal space that allows them to regroup and come back stronger. Respecting this space without taking it personally is a sign of maturity and emotional intelligence. Another key aspect of respecting boundaries is recognizing when boundaries are being crossed, either intentionally or unintentionally. This requires self-awareness and the willingness to examine our own behavior. Sometimes we may unintentionally push someone's limits by being too intrusive or demanding. In such cases, it's crucial to listen if someone expresses discomfort and to adjust our behavior accordingly. Respecting boundaries isn't just about what we say, it's also about being attuned to nonverbal cues and emotional signals. If someone is withdrawing, avoiding contact, or showing signs of discomfort, it may be an indication that their boundaries are being tested and we need to recalibrate our actions. When boundaries are disrespected, it can lead to negative consequences, including feelings of anger, hurt, or resentment. When we violate someone's personal boundaries, we undermine trust and create an atmosphere of insecurity. Over time, this can damage relationships and lead to a breakdown in communication. In contrast, when boundaries are respected, relationships are strengthened, and individuals feel empowered to be themselves. They know that their personal needs and limitations are acknowledged, and this creates a foundation of trust and mutual respect. Respecting boundaries is not just about maintaining personal relationships, it's also crucial in professional settings. In the workplace, respecting boundaries can contribute to a more productive, respectful, and supportive environment. Boundaries related to work hours, personal space, and communication should be honored to create a culture of respect. Acknowledging professional boundaries fosters teamwork and collaboration while minimizing the risk of burnout or stress. Forgiveness and letting go are two of the most powerful actions we can take in life. These practices not only free us from the burden of anger, resentment, and bitterness, but also pave the way for emotional healing and personal growth. Holding on to past grievances or mistakes can keep us trapped in cycles of pain, preventing us from moving forward and fully embracing the present. Forgiveness isn't just about others, it's also about releasing ourselves from the emotional weight that comes with holding on to hurt. Letting go is not an act of weakness, but one of strength, wisdom, and self-care. At the heart of forgiveness is the decision to release the hold that past wrongs have on us. It's a conscious choice to stop allowing someone else's actions to dictate our emotional state. When we forgive, we are not condoning or excusing the harm done to us. We are simply choosing not to allow it to control us any longer. Forgiveness is about reclaiming our power, deciding that we are not going to let the past govern our future. It is a transformative act that helps us break free from the prison of resentment and create space for peace and healing in our lives. Forgiveness is often misunderstood as something that should come easily or instantly. In reality, it is a process that takes time and effort. It's not about forgetting the hurt or pretending it never happened. Rather, it's about acknowledging the pain and then choosing to release the grip that it has over us. Sometimes the hardest part of forgiveness is not forgiving others, but forgiving ourselves. We may carry guilt, shame, or regret over our own actions or inactions, and these feelings can prevent us from moving forward. Self-forgiveness is just as vital as forgiving others because it allows us to embrace our imperfections and learn from our mistakes without being weighed down by them. Letting go is an essential aspect of forgiveness. Letting go means releasing the past, whether it's a past hurt, a mistake, or an unfulfilled expectation, and allowing ourselves to live in the present. Holding on to the past, particularly negative experiences, can keep us stuck in cycles of anger, sadness, and frustration. We may replay events in our minds, wishing they had turned out differently, or we may continually blame others for the pain we've endured. But the more we hold on to these thoughts, the more they prevent us from experiencing peace and joy. Letting go is an act of freeing ourselves from these mental and emotional chains, choosing not to let past events have power over our current state of being. Letting go doesn't mean we forget or deny the significance of the past. It means we choose not to let it dominate our thoughts, actions, or emotions. By letting go, we open ourselves up to new experiences, new relationships, and new opportunities. We allow ourselves to heal and move forward with clarity and optimism. When we forgive and let go, we create space for compassion, understanding, and love, both for ourselves and for others. This process brings a sense of lightness, as if a heavy weight has been lifted off our shoulders. It is through forgiveness that we begin to heal the wounds that have been holding us back. In some cases, letting go may require setting boundaries or making changes in relationships. Forgiveness doesn't always mean reconciliation, especially when the relationship is toxic or harmful. Sometimes letting go means accepting that certain relationships are not meant to continue or that certain behaviors are not acceptable. In such instances, forgiveness may simply be about finding peace with the situation and moving forward without carrying the emotional baggage. It is about choosing peace over the desire for revenge, choosing healing over hatred. Forgiveness is not a one-time event, but a continuous practice. There may be moments when the old hurt resurfaces, when we feel the sting of betrayal or disappointment all over again. During these times, it's important to remember that forgiveness is not a single act, but an ongoing decision. Each time we are tempted to hold on to resentment, we can choose to let go once more. Through this continuous practice, forgiveness becomes a way of life, an essential tool for maintaining inner peace and emotional well-being. Ultimately, forgiveness and letting go are acts of liberation. They allow us to release the past, find peace in the present, and create a future full of possibility. By forgiving, we free ourselves from the grip of negative emotions and open ourselves to the beauty of life's experiences. We stop living in the shadow of past hurts and instead move forward with a heart that is lighter, more open, and more capable of loving fully. Living with purpose is about waking up every day with a sense of direction, meaning, and intentionality. It's the realization that life is not something that just happens to us, but something we actively shape and create. Purpose provides a foundation for our actions, guiding us through decisions, challenges, and opportunities. It's about aligning our values, passions, and strengths with the way we live our lives so that every moment feels connected to something bigger than ourselves. When we live with purpose, we are more focused, resilient, and motivated, and we approach life with a sense of clarity and fulfillment. One of the first steps in living with purpose is understanding what truly matters to us. It requires deep reflection, asking ourselves what brings us joy, what we are passionate about, and what values we want to live by. These answers aren't always easy to find, and they can evolve over time, but they provide a roadmap for how we direct our energy and attention. Without a clear sense of purpose, we may feel directionless or lost, drifting from one experience to the next without any real sense of meaning. However, when we identify our purpose, it becomes the anchor that keeps us grounded even in uncertain times. Living with purpose also means living authentically. It's about embracing who we truly are and allowing that to guide the choices we make. Too often we allow outside influences, society, family expectations, or peer pressure to dictate how we should live. But when we live with purpose, we break free from these external pressures and choose a path that aligns with our inner truth. We stop trying to meet the expectations of others and start honoring our own needs, desires, and passions. This authenticity brings a sense of peace because we are no longer trying to be someone we are not. Instead, we are fully embracing who we are and living in accordance with our deepest values. Another aspect of living with purpose is the pursuit of growth and self-improvement. Purpose isn't static, it's dynamic. It's about continuously learning, evolving, and pushing ourselves to be the best version of who we are. This growth doesn't just happen in grand, sweeping moments. It happens in the small, everyday choices we make. Whether it's learning a new skill, cultivating a positive habit, or stepping out of our comfort zones, living with purpose means constantly striving to improve. Every experience, whether it's a success or a failure, becomes an opportunity for growth when we approach life with purpose. Living with purpose also means finding ways to contribute to something greater than ourselves. True fulfillment comes not from accumulating wealth, status, or possessions, but from making a difference in the lives of others. Purpose is often tied to service, whether it's helping a friend in need, volunteering, or working toward a cause that resonates with us. When we focus on serving others and making a positive impact, our lives feel richer and more meaningful. This sense of contribution creates a deeper connection to the world around us and fills us with a sense of accomplishment that is far more satisfying than any material gain. Furthermore, living with purpose requires resilience and perseverance. There will always be obstacles, setbacks, and challenges along the way. But when we are clear on our purpose, we are more equipped to handle these difficulties. Purpose provides us with the strength to keep going when times are tough, reminding us why we started in the first place. It keeps us focused on the bigger picture, helping us overcome self-doubt and discouragement. When we live with purpose, we see challenges as opportunities for growth rather than insurmountable problems. This mindset shift transforms our approach to life, allowing us to navigate even the hardest times with grace and determination. Ultimately, living with purpose leads to a deeper sense of fulfillment. It allows us to experience life with intention rather than passively letting it slip by. Every action, every decision, and every relationship becomes meaningful when we are living in alignment with our purpose. We stop waiting for happiness to find us and instead create it by living authentically and intentionally. Purpose gives us direction and clarity, helping us make choices that lead to personal fulfillment, joy, and a sense of peace. It connects us to our true selves, to others, and to the world, making life feel richer and more rewarding. Empowerment and choice are central to living a fulfilling, self-directed life. To be empowered is to realize the strength and capability within ourselves to shape our circumstances, make decisions, and influence the course of our lives. It's about embracing the responsibility that comes with having the ability to choose and understanding the immense value of those choices. Empowerment comes from recognizing that we are not victims of circumstance, but active participants in creating our own future. Choice, on the other hand, is the tool that allows us to exercise that power. The freedom to make decisions, both big and small, gives us the autonomy to steer our lives toward the outcomes we desire. At the core of empowerment is the belief that we have control over our actions and responses. It starts with the recognition that while we cannot always control external events, we have the power to decide how we respond to them. Life is filled with challenges and obstacles, but when we feel empowered, we view these setbacks as opportunities for growth rather than insurmountable barriers. This shift in perspective allows us to navigate through difficulties with confidence, knowing that we have the strength to overcome them. Empowerment is not about having perfect control over every situation, but about trusting ourselves to make decisions and adapt as needed. Empowerment is deeply linked to self-awareness. To be empowered, we must first understand who we are, our values, desires, strengths, and weaknesses. Self-awareness helps us make choices that align with our authentic selves and ensures that we do not compromise our well-being or integrity. When we are self-aware, we can discern what is best for us and move toward it with clarity. The more we know ourselves, the more empowered we become to make decisions that reflect our true needs and aspirations, rather than making choices based on external pressure or societal expectations. Choice plays a fundamental role in empowerment because it gives us the freedom to determine our path. Each day we are faced with a multitude of decisions, from the simple like what to eat or where to the profound such as which career to pursue or whom to trust. The ability to make these decisions shapes the trajectory of our lives. Often people feel disempowered because they feel as though they don't have choices or that the choices available to them are limited. However, empowerment comes from recognizing that we always have a choice, even if that choice is how we respond to the circumstances around us. The power of choice lies in its potential to transform our lives. Every choice we make has a ripple effect, impacting not just ourselves, but the people around us as well. When we make decisions that align with our values, we create a sense of fulfillment and purpose in our lives. We may not always make perfect choices, but the act of choosing empowers us to learn, grow, and course correct as needed. Empowerment is about trusting that we can learn from every decision and use our mistakes as stepping stones to better choices in the future. Moreover, empowerment is closely tied to personal responsibility. To feel truly empowered, we must take responsibility for our choices and their outcomes. This means owning both our successes and our failures. While it can be tempting to blame others or external circumstances for the challenges we face, true empowerment comes from recognizing that we are the architects of our lives. We may not be able to control every event, but we have the power to decide how we react and what steps we will take next. This sense of responsibility strengthens our confidence and gives us the tools to create positive change. Empowerment also means recognizing the power of boundaries. Part of the process of making empowered choices is understanding where to draw the line, whether that's in relationships, work, or personal life. Setting healthy boundaries ensures that we honor our needs and protect our energy, which in turn allows us to make decisions that serve our well-being. By choosing not to overextend ourselves or tolerate unhealthy situations, we create the space for more meaningful, aligned choices that contribute to our overall empowerment. When we embrace empowerment and the ability to make choices, we step into our full potential. Every decision we make is an opportunity to reclaim our power, live authentically, and create the life we desire. Empowerment doesn't mean that we will always have all the answers or that everything will go as planned, but it does mean that we trust ourselves to navigate life with intention and purpose. By making conscious, empowered choices, we create the path that leads to growth, fulfillment, and a life that reflects our truest selves. In conclusion, living with purpose, embracing empowerment, and respecting boundaries are fundamental to creating a fulfilling and meaningful life. By understanding our values, making intentional choices, And taking responsibility for our actions, we open the door to growth, healing, and personal transformation. Every decision we make has the power to shape our future, and through forgiveness, letting go, and self-awareness, we create the space for positive change. When we choose to live authentically, honor our boundaries, and empower ourselves, we move toward a life that is truly aligned with our passions, strengths, and aspirations.